Chapter 28. Chaos had erupted in the wake of the truck. Anti-protesters and the do-nothing SCPD poured through the hole punched by the pickup, and, for the first time, I heard the helicopter circling above. Flashbangs went off, and smoke billowed, gunfire piercing through the cacophonous, chaotic screams and shouts. The pickup truck, my truck, skidded to a halt in front of the stage as I used Josephine's impossible psychic strength to push myself up and get my feet under me. Through the windshield, I locked eyes with Josephine, and she nodded once at me. The vibrations from her were coming through stronger than ever. Take what you need. Take it all. I did. And what started as a prickling in my fingertips had spread throughout my body. I could feel the fog dissipating, and at the same time, a propane tank exploded in the middle of the park, sending a shockwave of fear and rage at me. I staggered. Peter finally took notice, and decided he wasn't too happy to see me on my feet.
"Malachi!"
he shouted, his voice pitching higher at the end of my brother's name. Corey spun, and I took 2 steps, grabbing the wrist of the hand holding the gun. I squeezed as hard as possible, and the gun went off, sideways. She yelped in agony, and her finger spasmed, dropping the gun to the ground.
"Malachi!"
Peter yelled into the crowd again, pleading. I twisted Corey's wrist, yanking the girl close. Through gritted teeth, I issued my only warning. Run. I released her hand, and she did. There was no thought, no debate, no concern for her dear leader, Peter. She just took her fear and ran away. I staggered again. Josephine's strength was helpful, but it wasn't nearly enough to keep my head above the suffocating crush of the emotional pull. Peter noticed my stumble, got a cocky look on his face that I desperately wanted to punch off, and then took a very ill-advised step toward me, his own fists balling up. Fuck me.
"Abraham!"
Peter and I both twisted simultaneously and saw Valdez, you beautiful fucking crazy girl, leaning out of the driver's side window, arm cocked at a strange angle.
"Drink!"
Valdez swung her arm forward, hurling a bottle of whiskey into the air. Time slowed as the bottle spun lazily, arcing slowly across the stage in my direction. The assholes with the flamethrowers shot off uncoordinated blasts. Helicopters thumped from above, and shotguns fired non-lethal beanbags down at Nazis and anti-protesters alike. Malachi barreled through the crowd, literally throwing people aside and leaping for the stage. Peter turned to the shadows he had emerged from, no doubt hoping to disappear into the chaos he had inspired. As the bottle spun closer, I continued to fill up on Josephine's faith and confidence. I could see the lengths Valdez had gone to provide me a little backup, and I decided that maybe, just maybe, today wasn't the day Abraham Owens was going to die. But if it was, I damn well would take as many Nazis down with me as I could. In a movement so fast it made Valdez shoot me a double take, I snatched the bottle of whiskey out of the air, cracked the cap, opened my throat, and started guzzling. Liquid fire poured down my gullet, splashing into my gut, releasing an intense warmth that crept quickly up my body and pressed into my head. I sent down reinforcements, and then more reinforcements for the first reinforcements. When the bottle was more than halfway gone, Malachi came crashing into me like a freight train. The whiskey bottle flew out of my hands and spun across the stage. We rolled, and Malachi wound up on top of me, hands clenched around my throat, his eyes bugging and looking crazier than ever. "This isn't going to end the way you think it is, little brother," Malachi hissed through clenched teeth. I choked for oxygen and pulled at his wrists. The pressure eased, and I was able to squeeze out. "You're goddamn right. It's gonna end with my fist in your face." Malachi let out an absurd battle cry and pressed harder into my neck. The whiskey continued to do its job as my brain was robbed of oxygen.
Her eyes
of
burned
the debilitating pull
bright.
cleared, just
With
as blackness
defiance.
crept into the edges of my vision. Alright, fuck it. I released Malachi's wrists and put every last bit of energy I had into boxing his ears. His grip on my neck immediately loosened, and his hands cradled his head. I sucked in big gulps of air, grabbed a fistful of his shirt, and yanked him down into an upward thrust of my fist. Malachi spun off me, and I scrambled to my feet in time to see Valdez gunning the truck's engine. The Nazis were crowding around her, and as much as I would have plowed right through them, Valdez exhibited far more restraint. The crowd in front of the truck suddenly parted, but she didn't have a path to pull free. Instead, one of the assholes with a flamethrower blasted the front of the truck with fire. The fucker rode the trigger, and it didn't take long for what was left of the truck's paint job to start bubbling and crisping under the heat. "Valdez!" I bellowed. "Run!" Through a trademark string of expletives, Valdez pushed Josephine out the rear window and onto the bed of the truck. Fucking hell! Why did she bring Josephine? She climbed out behind Josephine, while the asshole kept dousing the front of the truck in flames. Valdez and Josephine moved to the back of the bed as the crowd began dispersing around the truck. The two women took a leap from the truck to the edge of the stage, and the front of the truck exploded in flames. A second later, the gas tank caught, and a second explosion sent waves of heat rolling across the stage. For the moment, my two girls were safe, and the flaming wreckage of my truck barricaded the front of the stage from the raging Nazi uprising. The sides of the stage, however... I started for Valdez and Josephine, who were helping each other to their feet. "God damn it, Valdez!" I growled.
You can yell at me later,
Valdez snapped.
let's just get the fuck out of here.
A loud gunshot, way too close, stopped us all in our tracks. I spun and saw Peter holding that infernal gun. He had spun off the silencer. Malachi moved alongside Peter, wiping blood from his mouth. Peter fucking laughed.
Oh, oh, I am not nearly done with you, Abraham Owens.
"'Cause you thought I was done with you, you goddamn fucking malformed, shit-swilling piece of cum-stained cunt discharge." I cracked my knuckles and took a step forward.
Abe,
A weak voice called out from behind me. "Wait, that fucking gunshot." "Joe?"
oh fuck.
Valdez panicked.
Fuck, no, god damn it, Joe.
For the second time, the world around me slowed to an impossible halt. I pivoted to see Josephine collapsing to her knees, and Valdez pressing her hands into her chest. Blood seeped from between her fingers. Josephine's eyes met mine, and no amount of whiskey could ever deaden my connection with this woman.
God fucking damn it!
Valdez kept repeating, lost in a hopeless panic. There was nothing she could do to slow the flow of blood. Josephine gritted her teeth against the pain, and her eyes burned bright with defiance. I wanted to call out to her. I wanted to say something, anything. But what do you say when your closest friend is dying right in front of your eyes? What do you say when she's dying because she was trying to help you? Ranks of alt-right Nazi shits began to surge up the steps of the stage from the wing behind Valdez. Josephine's mouth moved, but I couldn't hear a thing over all the noise. Not that I needed to. I heard her words loud and clear in my head. Fuck his shit up, Abraham Owens. The only piano wire that ever mattered, the only one after Gertie, snapped, and the world spiraled away from me. Josephine was gone. Murdered for no other reason than to get my attention. The senselessness of it was a gut-sucking reflection of this entire fucking night, and the entire fucking alt-right movement. What was the point? To make me hurt? Because of the color of her skin? Peter himself probably couldn't even answer those questions. Peter. The world kept spinning. I had nothing to hold on to. Why in the fuck did Valdez bring her here? Never mind the fact that I would have already been dead if she hadn't brought Josephine. I would trade my life for Josephine's without hesitation any time, anywhere. Not that I was even given a choice. As I turned in a disorientated circle, a dark, black vibration whispered out to me. It was immediately pushed aside by Josephine's past exhortations.
Of all the emotions, you mustn't succumb to hate. It is a virus that will consume you, it will change you, and it will control you. Remember, Abraham, you are and will always be stronger than their hate.
The hate was a rally-sized storm that flurried around me. It followed me, and called to me, and taunted me as soon as I stepped foot into that fucking rally. Even as the fog gave way to the effects of the whiskey, the hate remained a crystal clear vibration as persistent as it was consistent. It wasn't that I didn't feel it. It was that I ignored it. But now this bottom barrel shit stain murdered Josephine. And sometimes, yes, you do have to fight fire with fire. I didn't just open myself up to the tsunami of hate. I fucking mainlined it.